Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here for another episode of Women Like Me. I am your host, Julie Fairhurst, and today I'm thrilled. I really am. I'm going to introduce you to a woman who is helping women bloom through one of the most misunderstood and under-discussed stages of life, which is menopause. Jack LaPlante, sorry, a certified and licensed Raindrop Technique specialist and a gifted energy healer. With her her signature program, Blossom Balance, the Menopause Wellness Experience, Jack helps women move from survival to thriving during the midlife shift. So, Jax, welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk
Yay!
about this. And it is like we don't talk about it. So
No, we don't. We don't, for sure. So, do you want to tell the audience a little bit more about yourself and then we'll dive in?
sure. Well, I've had a crazy life, lots of different opportunities. I was just telling Julie before we started that I used to be an online editor and colorist for TV shows and movies. That was 18-hour days. I hated it. So I love the creativity, didn't like that so much. Um, it's I've done a lot of different things, and what brought me to this natural healing and really working on honing in on my own craft and the gifts that I have was my diverticulitis I got during my mom's 5 years of living hell before she passed. And the stress develops like when you can't talk about it because you just have to be on and do it. Most mothers will understand this. We hold our emotions in our organs. And for me, it turned into diverticulitis, which is, if you've ever had it, it's horrible. Medications didn't work. My doctor's really cool and open to like other forms of healing. And he's also native, which helps, I think, because he has a great understanding of that. So I used an oil blend from Young Living that my friend taught me into because it was like last resort. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? This is horrible. Within 3 days, I've not looked back. And that was 2015.
Oh,
Did pass in 2020
oh,
before COVID, which was a good thing as it turned out. But yeah, I'm not going to go into that. That's a whole nother thing. And I am a licensed end of life doula.
mm,
So because of that, I
yes.
know more. So I
Oh,
just grew and learned. And now I'm offering all of my knowledge to anyone who wants it. And don't wait till it's last minute like I did. And so many people do. Find
mhm.
out now. So let's get the information out there, and then you can make an educated decision on your health plan. And I'm happy to be here to tell you, hey, this is a possible journey for you. Here are the options, and you can make your own mind up.
Wow, that's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, my first question was about what inspired you, but you've kind of covered that, so that's perfect. So, my second question for you, Jax, is can you walk us through what a blossom balance session looks like and feels like with a first-time client?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So it starts with our introduction to each other because I need to know what specifically is going on for you. Each woman, we could have a room of 1,000 women, and each one of us is going to go through menopause their own way, different from everyone. We're going to have similar things like the nasty hot flashes and night sweats. Those are going to be pretty common throughout. But do we need estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, DHEA? What do we need? Well, that's where your blood test and saliva tests come in. I always work along Western medicine. So we talk about what you need and what steps you've taken so far, right? So I know that I'm not putting something on you that's going to increase estrogen, or if you're already on a plan or you're
Ah,
not. So we go through that whole discussion about 15 minutes, and then I hone in some oils for you. Like I've got several ones like Vital Progesterone Plus. I don't know if you can see that.
no, no. There you go. There you go.
Oil. I won't do that because it's too small.
Yeah.
Um, and I'll do the raindrop on you, which it means I do 9 different oils plus the whatever we've picked for you that you need for your menopause like issues. We do 9 different oils plus those on the feet with a technique right up the Vitaflex point for your spine. And then I come up to your back. I'll have you flip over. go onto your tummy and I'll get your back. And then I'll do the whole raindrop technique, which is a series of it's reflexology, aromatherapy, and massage techniques. It
Mhm.
feels incredible. Then I'll
Mhm.
add the extra oils for your condition. It's not really condition, whatever you're going through. It's just it's what we're going to do. We're
What's affecting you?
Yeah, what's affecting you? Thank you for
What's making you grumpy?
doing this to you. Why are you whacked out?
Yeah.
You know, I know you put on weight, everything's horrible.
Yeah.
I'm there. I had it really bad, so I'm still in it. Anyway, so we do that, and then I'll do the hot towels on you. You'll relax for 5 minutes. I do a little Reiki while you're relaxing. And then when you come out of it, I'm not going to have you get up right away. I'm going to do a 15 to 20-minute sound bath. And if you haven't heard of a sound bath, I don't dip you in anything because that was my misconception when I started getting into this. I'm like, what is a sound bath? It's crystal singing bowls, each of the different tone. I have the one set to your chakras. So I'll specifically pull out, more than likely for most women, I'm going to do the sacral, the solar plexus, and the heart chakras, and sometimes the throat because our voice gets stifled. We don't know what to say to who because we either are all bleh, like get
Yes.
out, or we're holding back, and yeah, we end up. And then so we'll end up with some tea, red clover or red leaf raspberry, chamomile, or dandelion root tea, just to simmer. And I have an egg chair. You ever seen an egg chair? They hang.
Yeah. Yes.
I suggest sitting in that and just reflecting on all the thoughts and things that have gone through your mind during this whole session and how relaxed you are. And
Wow.
do the breathing and just get you settled. So when you leave me, you're going out in the world going, wow, I didn't know I could take care of, all this issue with this treatment,
Yes.
right? Modality.
Oh, it sounds like heaven.
It is.
It sounds like heaven
I
for
need
sure.
to do it to me because there's no one
Yeah.
around in the lower mainland or the island anymore doing it. My lady,
Oh,
she was 70. She just retired last year. So there's literally no one else doing this.
wow.
I
Wow.
train some people.
Yes, yes, you could.
I can't
So,
certify, but I can train you.
so I was going to ask about the raindrop technique, but I think you've covered it. And the sound bath. Now, I personally have never had one, but I listened to one that you did on the internet. I just happened to come across it, and oh my goodness, it was so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. So, what are some of the most common struggles that women come to you with? And what are they the most surprised about when they leave?
I think the most common struggle I get is they're not sleeping. You go to bed at 9:30, 10, whatever your bedtime is, but you're up at 1:30, between 1:30 and 3, and that's an hour to 3 hours that you're up. Well, a lot of us are still in our working years, right? So
Yeah.
now you're messed up for the next day. So it's a real problem, especially if you've got kids and teenagers. Lord knows they're going nuts these days. Like it's a different
Yeah.
world from when we were teenagers. So sleep is the biggest issue, and then it's mood. I'm down. I'm depressed. That would be the second issue. Just the depression that I don't feel like myself. Um, and then the third issue would just be pain. Like we
Pain.
as you get older, there's lots of pain. Like I was in a weird accident. I won't go into details about it. It was a really odd one-off thing. My back is permanently messed up because of it. So I live with a great amount of pain. But as we get older, anything we did as we were younger, injuries, broken arms, legs, etc., they can turn into arthritis as we get older. Just because we were really hard on our bodies. I was a skier. I'm not
Oh,
getting
yeah.
back skis anymore. No, no, no. My ankles can't handle it anymore. But there's certain injuries that are going to wreak havoc on you as you age. So the pain issues, the raindrop oils, and there's 9 of them, do really react well with pain.
So the raindrop oils, are they there? So those are just so when somebody first comes to you, so do you continue so after someone comes to you, are you still using the full range of raindrop oils on them if they come back for more treatments, or
Oh,
how does that?
it has been standardized by
Yeah.
the Center of Aromatherapy Research and Education. So CARE is the acronym. Dr. Stanley Burroughs did that. Gary Young created the raindrop. Dr. Stanley Burroughs created care so that we have a standardized way of doing it. So yes, every single time. Gary says get the oils on, doesn't matter what order. And what Dr. Stanley Burroughs did, and they were friends, right? He just standardized it so we do go in order so that the layering just makes more sense because one on top of the other, on top of the other, on top of the other, each one is getting into your cellular level. Like you're getting into the cells in the nervous system. It's not just smells nice sitting on the skin, which is our biggest organ. They're actually
Yes.
absorbed and getting you on a cell level. So yes, come every time you come back, you're having the same raindrop. And the only thing we're going to discuss if you come in for the blossom balance is what's changed for you, if anything.
Mm.
And then I can change those oils out, but the standard 9 will stay.
Ah. And so what do you think most women are surprised about when they're done a treatment?
How relaxed they are. I don't let you get off the bed right away. You sit up, legs over the side. I wrap you in that blanket that you've just been warmed up with the hot towels, and you have to drink your water. That's mandatory. Water, water, water. And then we talk, and every single one of them is relaxed, often in a dream state, like you're just coming out of a really good sleep. And you don't know why, but you can move your shoulders better, and you feel amazing. And it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to come back to reality. People snoring on my table is my biggest compliment.
Oh.
It does happen often. Sometimes when they're nervous, first timers will want to talk, and that's fine. It's your time. If you feel like talking, I will engage, but I'm not going to start a conversation with you because once you've been back a second time, it's just like, okay, lights out. I'll see you in an hour, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yep, no problem. I'm just going to do my thing,
Yeah.
right?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, for sure. Some people love it. They're chatty, and others, I know for myself, I just love to just close my eyes and take it all in. I remember once I went for a reflexology. She was a lovely lady, but she wanted to talk and walk me through the whole thing. And for me, that didn't work.
No,
I
it
was like,
people.
it's not what I'm here for.
What I would
But
do, that's what I would do. I'd walk someone through because I was so excited to share the information, and
yes.
at least they were friends, and they're like, Jack, you need to shut up unless like, oh, okay, that makes
Yeah.
sense. I get it. Once I have mine, I'm like, oh yeah, I need to shut up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, and like you say, it's whatever the individual woman is looking for
Yeah.
sure. So when it comes to the essential oils, how are they supporting the nervous system?
Oh, in a variety of ways. You've got like we'll take basil. It's a antispasmodic.
Okay.
They're all antifungal. Well, 99% of them are antifungal. But it's an antispasmodic. Wintergreen works a lot like cortisone does. So if you're going to the hospital for a cortisone shot, which by the way didn't work for my back, I can put wintergreen directly on my spine, and it does kind of get in there and numb that pain, that pain. And each one, peppermint will cool you down. It'll lay on, as an example, it lays on top of all the other oils. It's the last oil I put on you. And it will cool the other oils, but also get in there, and it's really good for muscle relaxation. Because you'd think peppermint, that's really nice in tea or whatever
Yes.
you want.
Yeah.
But you can put it in a spray bottle and cool yourself down. And in this case, it's there to layer on top of all the other oils so that you have that extra layer of muscle relaxation.
So the peppermint you can put in a spray bottle? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, just I would take if you had a 1 ounce spray bottle, or
Yeah.
we'll do a 1 ounce spray bottle as an example. I would put like 10 drops or 15 drops of peppermint oil, like just drops, and then fill the rest with water. And there's your cooling spray bottle. I have one here. Yeah, here we go. There. There.
Pull it back towards you. There
There.
you go. Perfect.
It just
Oh,
so this is 3 ounces. So I would put probably an ounce or an ounce,
oh,
20 mils of peppermint in that. And then fill
oh.
the rest with water. It's a really inexpensive way to get the relief you need.
So if someone's having a hot flash,
Heck yeah. And a bit of lavender too also helps.
oh, okay.
Chest, I get it really bad on the chest. I'm like, oh my God.
So what about mood swings when it comes to oils?
Oh, mood swings? Yes, you need to have your oils for mood swings. And that's where you come into like your clary sages. Also good to put directly on your skin. But you're going to get into Endoflex, which is a blend, and your clary sage, glare essence, those kind. They help with mood swings because the scents from those three, not only are they helping you on a cellular level, putting them directly on the body, but they help your limbic system, right?
Oh,
And that's
yeah.
controls all your emotions, and we can get out of whack like yesterday. It's like having your period all the time without the nastiness of the period. You're just
Yeah.
full-fledged for like the
Oh,
years yours is going to last, right? It's
yeah.
horrible.
Yeah.
You're up
Yeah.
and down, you cry at a commercial. Like if you're me, not everyone goes through, but this is me. I cry at a commercial, like, oh, it reminds me of my mom. Right, oh my god, I remember when I was a kid, and whatever can set me off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you want to use oil and happy oils like your vanilla. We have a blend called Stress Away, orange, lemon, grapefruit. Lavender
Oh,
can be good, but it's also, it depends on what, as I speak about all these oils, it depends on the grade of essential oil. I'm not talking about the ones you get from Walmart because they're made quick, they're made fast. And it's not always that oil that's in there. They can say it's 100% essential oil, but only 5% of that bottle is the 100% essential oil, and the rest of it is an oil, but it's a carrier oil, like your jojoba, coconut, oil,
oh,
all those other different kinds.
oh, I see. Yes, that would make sense. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
And so what about for sleeping? Is there an essential oil for sleeping?
several. You have your
Oh.
vetiver, which is a grass, so it is kind of gummy, but that's kind of
Hmm.
nice. You just put it like I put it close to me, and then you can diffuse that. Lavender, we all know, calms.
Yes.
Make a lavender spray, same as you make the peppermint spray.
Oh.
But cypress oil is really good for sleep.
Oh.
And I prefer a woody tone or pine. Like I love being out in the forest, so
Yeah. Yeah.
bringing it home, and this is made from the bark. And the leaves. It depends which oil we're doing: cypress, cedarwood, pine.
Yeah.
Um, Diffusing those is really good. If you love the outdoors, it brings it in, and your mind just goes, oh, because that's your happy place. But it also does affect the limbic system, right?
Right. Right.
Um, so that's a vetiver. Rudavella, also very good. I found that one really stinky when I first smelt it, and I thought, God, how is anyone using this for sleep? I just, right, like, yeah. But I found out just through studying and talking with people, the one that stinks the most to you is the one you need the most. So I suffered through the first night. I'm like, but I did sleep well. So the next,
Ah.
and then after that, I'm like, oh, it doesn't stink. That was me, my mind going, I'm happy not sleeping. What is this?
Mhm.
Right? We like being up at 3 a.m. Every-
Well, I do have to tell you, Jax, that I have come up with some of my best ideas at
okay.
3 o'clock in the morning.
That is true. That is true.
Yes, but I didn't like it.
Right? Why can't I have this at 10 a.m.?
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
normal person.
exactly, exactly. Yes. Wow. Well, and when you're talking about the oils for sleeping, because I remember when I was starting to go through menopause, I remember not being able to sleep drove me insane. And I finally went to my doctor and he gave me sleeping pills, which did help for a time.
Yeah.
But then it was explained to me that if you're on them for too long, it starts to have the opposite effect.
Yep. Very true.
So you're not so sure you're sleeping for the first month, but the second month or third, however long you're on them, all of a sudden you take them and they actually keep you awake.
It's very true. Also, I work along, I want to specifically say I work alongside Western medicine, but long-term pill usage can affect your liver and your kidneys, your pancreas, like everything.
Right.
So if really think about what you need to be on long term, and I know there's a lot of people out there that need to be on some form of medication for life. So what else are you adding on top of that, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
sleeping pills, I took them initially. I took everything initially. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I need help. I'm a hot flash every 5 minutes. It was just ridiculous. I'm like, ah, right. So I took it all. and I took the sleeping pills for about 3 months, and I started waking up like as if I had when I'm in my 20s, I had a big rager the night before, lots of drinking and all that. I'm like, I woke up hungover and just,
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is not right for me. I need to figure this out.
Yeah.
And it took a while for me to, and
Hmm.
I'm the oil lady. It's like the cleaning lady's house is the dirtiest. I'm not the most to go and help myself with what I know. I can tell you all day long what to do. And I finally started doing it to myself and giving myself the same grace I would give someone else. And yeah, and it found essential oils that will work. And then also there's DIYs. You can make your own creams, your salves, your all kinds of things. You can really get deep into it, which I did,
Yes. Yes.
to learn this. So the sleeping pills and right along with HRT, hormone replacement therapy, you have to check yourself and your own body and how it's working for you.
Hmm.
Right. So there are options. Yes. Sleeping pills are the first thing people go to. My sister is on them. But yeah, it's very personal, I guess.
For
I mean,
sure. But I guess my point of bringing it up is that I didn't know that there was an option in oils.
right. And most people don't until you find one thing you need the oils for, then you start questioning, what else do I need? Can the oils replace? And the answer is yes, there's an oil for that.
Yeah.
It
Love
can
that.
get you a husband, but there's an oil to you, so kind of.
There might be an oil out there, or maybe you could make one for us.
Well, there's a sure, right?
That's cute. Okay. So, how do you address the emotional and the spiritual side of menopause in your sessions, or do you?
It depends on how much the person wants to get into it. Like,
Okay.
and I find that most women are pretty open at this stage when they're like, "Oh my God, you can help. Let's talk." Right? And I feel like Joan Rivers. Can we talk? Let's talk with coffee talk. So I do get a lot of people just open up. Sorry, what was the question again? I
That's
know.
that's okay. The emotional and spiritual side.
So I talk. If people don't want to open up right away, I'll do like spur questions and just go, "Hey, how are you sleeping? How are your relationships? Are you really angry at your husband lately for no reason? Because he, left the toilet roll empty or something stupid, but you blew up to the like this level when it really should have been like, really? Did you do that again, hun? Right?
Yeah.
That if it's like, yeah, the whole world is ending, right? Find out where they're at, and then we can have a discussion about it. And I try to use humor as much as possible because that you get the most honest out of someone, and they can see themselves in a funny way because they're not alone. So you blew up at your husband because the toilet roll was empty. Okay, let's think about that in other times. And it's like, well, could we just laugh about it? I don't know if you remember the show Mad About You.
Yes,
Kind of
yes.
myself here, but and she comes out with the toilet roll and the toilet roll holder, and she goes, "Watch me," and that was it. She put the toilet roll thing and left. She didn't say anything, right? And I thought that was a brilliant way. I don't know why I'm stuck on this toilet roll thing, but you could take something really aggravating and make it humorous, or
Yes.
count to 10. It depends on
Yes.
what rage level you're at, and it does vary every day.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah.
like, okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. All
Yeah.
right. Hun,
Yeah.
I need to put the toilet roll back on because it's really hard for me to reach it.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
And then
exactly.
spiritually, we can talk about, we'll find out like a lot of women, they have like their own powers, right? Their own energy powers, their own empath. That's 99% of the time you're going to find someone's like, oh, I feel this and it came true, or I saw that in someone, and sure enough, it's like, well, let's experience that, walk that road. So basically it takes a conversation to find out where someone's at and definitely address it, and then give them some tools depending on what they need on how to handle that.
Mhm.
If you're crying all the time, it's a whole different thing. We're not going to use so much humor, right? Let's pull out what. And a lot of times in this age, you're going to look back at your past and miss things, or a friend that you had that you told to get lost, and you really miss them, because you were feeling one way and you didn't need to talk to them for a while because they were toxic, but you still have this friendship. So find out where you're at. So
Mhm.
it's a little bit more than a quick answer to that question because it does vary so much.
Mhm.
But that's
Yes.
part of caring.
Well, and I love that it's that again, you're looking at the woman's needs that's coming to you and you're sort of deciphering what direction to go.
Yeah, because each one is going to be different. I would be ignorant to assume that, say all of our group came in and you're all lined up outside, it's one after another, that I treated you all the same. Nine
Yeah.
out of 10 out of you, 9 out of 10 would feel, well, that wasn't worth it. She didn't even, I don't know what she was talking about. But that's not me.
Yes.
Right? I
Yes.
sleep fine. I'm just bitchy all the time and I'm hungry and wait, that's what I was talking about. But you went on
Yeah.
about, right? Like,
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So, what about myths? Are there any myths about menopause that you wish we could finally toss in the trash for good?
yeah. One of them would be the hormone replacement therapy. Now, there are many times when it was necessary. I was on it for 2 years myself.
Mm.
Um, but you don't just have to accept that your doctor said, this is what you need. Because we go in, we're like, I'm sweating, I'm not sleeping. And your doctor, boom, that's it.
Yeah, yeah,
So the myth is you the doctors know what it's like to go through menopause. And I'm talking female doctors too. No one's really trained in this. They spend 5 seconds, women go through menopause and moving on, right?
right.
They spend more time on the common cold than they do on menopause.
Mhm.
Um, so I would say know your symptoms and go to a natural path, right? Uh, they can do some tests for you as well, like the saliva test, and get you where you need to be. It's so important to find out, do you need estrogen and progesterone, which was my case. I've got friends that just needed the estrogen, and being on both was messing them right up. Some
Ah,
are you high in testosterone? You're low in testosterone because you've got to know for the DHEA and pregnenolone, like you can seriously lower your voice, and people would use this in a transition if they were going from one sex to the other. It'll grow facial hair. Like you've got to be careful. You can't just blindly take hormone replacement therapy.
right, right. You mentioned the saliva test a couple of times. I don't really understand what it's for.
Oh, you want to find out what levels you're at. What are your hormone levels at?
Oh, so that
Right?
can be done with a blood test or saliva test? Or is that
Live
different?
test is more accurate for hormones, but your blood test is going to tell you like your HCl levels, your good cholesterol levels,
Right,
because that does play a factor in what hormone you're going to need, right? And you don't want
right.
to put high or too low on any of this. And when we're too high on and there's many. I've got notes on that on what it feels like to be high on estrogen, to be high. I don't mean high like too high. I mean like
No,
it's just not
yes.
well for you. Um, Here we go. Let's find this side effects. There we go. Oh, so low DHEA, which is dihydroepiandrosterone. Say that 3 times.
I'll let you say
Go to
it.
10. Yeah, yay. But if you're high in that, it can cause excess body and facial hair, deepening voice, and menstrual irregularities if you're still in perimenopause, right? But it can reduce body fat. So the high to me, has more no's than a yes. But
Right.
levels, adrenal exhaustion, fatigue, decreased muscle mass, bone density, depression, joint pain, loss of libido, and lower immunity, right? And those, oh yeah, the libido, there's a big thing that goes out the door. It literally is men. Oh, pause. Nah, ain't touching, right? Like no.
Poor
So,
man.
right? They're like, what just happened? Right? Used to get bitchy once a month, and now it's like I don't nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's happening. Right? Then we go into our estrogen. I wanted to make a note of this. Premarin, which is what I was on as well. I actually have a box right here. Stands for pregnant mare urine. And in 2016, the US FDA banned it in the United States, but Canada still does it. And the horses that are pregnant are coming out of Manitoba and Ontario. Premarin is an acronym for pregnant mare urine.
And what would you take that for?
Estrogen. That's your estrogen replacement. As far as HRT, hormone replacement therapy, HRT, and that's your estrogen replacement. You can derive estrogen from wild yams and soy. You can't eat wild yams and soy and get estrogen. That's not the way our body works.
Uh,
So they can do that like a bioidentical estrogen in a lab,
yeah.
right? And then you can have it that way. So there's your real natural source of estrogen. But this Premarin, that's what's going in your body. Now, having said that, it did take care of my hot flashes. That was great.
Yes.
But it
Yes.
did something to my mind that I wasn't myself, and I was angry a lot. And I thought, I'm heightened into this state of constantly like, Steve, my husband couldn't do anything right. I'm like, like I'm a monster. So
Yeah.
when I
Yeah.
came to that, I felt a lot better. But that's my story, right?
Wow.
All different.
Wow.
But I do want to say one thing about the high estrogen levels. It can lead
Yes.
to various side effects, including irregular periods, breast tenderness, mood swings, fatigue, and weight gain, lovely, as well as potentially increasing the risk of certain conditions like fibroids and endometriosis.
And
So
what was that again? If this was too much estrogen?
high estrogen, yeah.
High estrogen.
And then we have low estrogen levels can cause various symptoms, including irregular periods. So same thing. The hot flashes and night sweats, which is normally what we're going through in menopause. We have low estrogen, but not everyone.
Right. Right.
Dryness, not fun. Sleep disturbances, mood changes, and difficulty concentrating. Now, low estrogen is normally the culprit of what we know as hot flash symptoms, right? But there's other things that affect this, right? Testosterone levels can, right? I can go into more detail. I don't know how much time you have, but there's a whole thing of getting into what low and high of each of these four feels like.
Wow. Well, I wish we could go into all of that, but you know what? This gives me a great opportunity to be able to say, reach out to Jax because this lady is full of amazing information and you'll be able to learn so much and she'll be able to totally help you. Wow. Jax, I love to ask my podcast guests a few questions to get to know them a little bit better before we end. Do you mind if I do that?
Go right ahead.
All right. Okay. So the first question I'm going to ask is if you could travel anywhere in the world tomorrow, where would you go and why would you go there?
Costa Rica.
And
How's
why?
it? I always had this notion I'd like to live in the Caribbean somewhere. And
Oh.
Costa Rica is like this, they have this whole community style of living, and it's just living for life, basically. Like life is love, and the people are genuine. They're nice. I love speaking Spanish. It's a very romantic language. I'm not very good at it yet, but
Yeah.
wonderful.
Oh.
And I used to scuba dive. I love the ocean. I like to be on or near water as much as possible. And that the temperatures for my body with the injuries that I have, I work best in a humid place.
Of course,
Good
yes.
for the
Yeah.
bone.
Wow.
And I just really enjoy that whole area.
Lovely. Lovely.
It's not a city.
No, no. I have a girlfriend that lives there. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah. We got a side by side, and my girlfriend messaged me and she goes, Julie, that's what I use for a car over here.
Yes.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Okay. So what is your favorite way to unwind after a busy day?
After a busy day, I actually like to have a glass of white wine, usually Pinot Grigio. And well, in the spring and summer, I just like to sit on my back deck and look at all the trees and have quiet.
Beautiful.
And I'm really into jazz music lately. And when I study or anything, I like having that in the background. For some reason, that just settles me.
Nice,
It's just,
nice.
oh, okay. It's not
Do
always
you,
wine. Sometimes it's tea.
yeah. Do you have a favorite motivational quote that keeps you going?
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Love that one. Love that one.
Yeah.
And what about a favorite book that inspires you?
A book that inspires me.
Or
Gosh.
just a favorite book
My favorite
that
book I ever read, novel, was A Prayer for Own Mimi.
hmm,
It was about a troubled kid and their friends, and how he goes through his life. And I won't give
yeah,
about
yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
whole ending of it, but
Yeah.
it's really good. And I found that when I was in Australia at a youth hostel, we were all hanging out
Oh,
in Paris, and it was like a book swap. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll read this one. And it was one of the best books I've read. Or Precious Bane, another one about a girl with
oh,
a hair lip growing up in a
oh.
time.
Wow. Wow.
It was just,
Wow.
and they had meaning because it was struggling and how
Yes.
they overcame it. So I
Yeah.
think why they stick with me.
Yeah. Okay. If you could have dinner with any woman in history,
In
who
history,
would it in history?
oh,
So living or dead in history, who would it be and why?
great question. What popped into my mind was two women, Oprah Winfrey and Michelle Obama. I
Oh,
love their minds and how they stand up
mhm.
for women.
Yeah.
Oprah had her show and she did all kinds of things, but those I would like to have two of them and have dinner with them, just to pick their brains and see how they view the world. I find them fascinating.
Yes. Yes. I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. Oprah's Michelle Obama's great as well, but Oprah's always been sort of on the top of my list.
me too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay, and the last one. If you could whisper one truth into the ear of every woman who is struggling right now, what would you say?
you're strong, you're beautiful, and you got this. Nothing else matters. No one can do what you can do.
Aw, I got shivers.
Aw,
That's beautiful, Jax. Oh, well, everybody, I want you to know that if you want to reach out to Jax, this lovely lady who will be able to help you, but she can't help you unless you reach out to her. Um, all of the details for her will be in the podcast and the YouTube section the details section. So we'll have some links in there and we'll have how you can find her if you'd like to. And you can just, have a conversation. You could go, I'm going to be going. We don't live in the exact same community, but we're somewhat close. And I'm definitely going for the raindrop treatment. Yeah, yeah. And the sound baths and the whole kick and caboodle because
lots of balance.
it sounds just like heaven. It really, really does. So, Jax, is there any words of wisdom, anything at all that you're burning to share with our audience before we go?
You don't have to suffer alone or suffer through this. Start a conversation. You have other women your age, and if you don't, reach out to me. I'll talk to you because it's frustrating. It's horrible going through menopause. It is not fun, but it's not a disease. It's not a curse or something we shouldn't talk about. It's something we'll eventually learn to laugh about because it's like, oh, yeah, you too, changing PJs in the middle of the night because you're like, "Rah!" Soaking wet. Reach out to me or start just bring it up with your friends because you will have a tribe of women that will be like, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. And it helps us get through, and each one of us will discover what we need in different ways.
Yeah, that's perfect. Well, thank you so much for that. So, Jax, thank you for being here. I greatly appreciate it. And everyone, thank you for being here for this amazing, informative episode of Women Like Me, Stories in Business. We'll see you again next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for having me.